Hey y'all, it's your girl Scrub Not Scribble, and I hope you've all had a good Christmas. What did you eat? Who did you see? And what were your favourite presents? Please do let me know in the comments because I'd love to hear about what were some of the highlights for you. So I thought because it's Christmas time, I'd try to do something a little bit different for today's video, right? So I've been looking at some of the other artist YouTubers out there, and I've noticed that everyone seems to be very arty. Like, it probably shouldn't even come as any surprise at all, because honestly, what else should we really expect? But I've noticed a lot of them only ever seem to do artist challenges, and I'm an artist YouTuber, so why not try doing the same? Alright, so today we're going to try designing our very own OC, or for anyone who's not involved in the artist community, it stands for like original character. Now, I don't know whether you'd call this a full-out phobia, but honestly, for anyone who's been following my artistic journey online all these years, you will know that I do not design OCs. In fact, I actively try and stay away from that ish because whenever I try to actually seriously design any sort of OC whatsoever, it dies. Like, am I cursed, or am I just really bad at this? Because we could start a challenge, you know, at any artists in the online community who are up to their eyeballs in drama. Drop me your friend's OC, or even better, drop me your enemy's OC, and I'll draw it, and it will die, because I promise you, any OC that I draw ends up dying. It'll be like the last few years worth of curses all rolled into one. Actually, maybe I should charge money for that. Regardless though, if it's one thing that will always remain consistent about me, it's my ever-perpetual inconsistency. And I don't particularly like this rut I seem to have fallen into recently with all my constant anxiety and bitching about everything going on out there in the world, so let's try something different. And who knows, depending on the stats this video ends up getting, we may or may not try something like this again. Alright, so the first thing about this OC is that she is very blue. And having looked up the symbolism and meaning of the colour blue on good old googly goggle here, apparently its meaning is, while blue conjures images of the sky and the sea, it is also the colour of bravery and dedication. Blue represents introspective journeys and symbolises wisdom and depth of understanding, but blue is also a symbol of depression and the depths of the human psyche. Well, that sounds about perfect for me, especially with all these recent events that we've all been going through and surviving from. I'm sure you can all identify with that. So maybe because she's so blue, this could be our trope for the year 2021. And maybe all the other years after that. We're brave, we've survived, but friggin' heck, we've been going through it all. I've also recently been reading articles about how there's been multiple amounts of microplastics found in women's wombs and placentas recently as well. So given this OC of ours is going to be very futuristically based, she can have that too. I like how some of the terms that's been thrown around are like the term cyborg. It's like, well, we all know complaining and being miserable about this ain't gonna do nothing, so we might as well try and make the best of things now. Like, we've been complaining and petitioning for years, and while I really do hope things get better, perhaps for the sake of our temporary mental health sake, we could just try and act like this is a good thing of sorts, despite it being very far from the actual truth. So this OC's not going to count as fully human. Pretty sure her basic anatomy is indicative of that. But like, maybe we could start getting our act together in the year 2021, you know? Like, goodness knows things won't just change by themselves. So maybe along with all the other plastics in her system, we could put a few other things in there too. Like with human embryos proving how easily they're absorbing all these outside chemicals and substances, maybe we could just have these anarchist punk scientists or something who are like, they're really tired of not getting listened to from their government. One day they could just go, you know what, let's take these environmental matters into our own hands. Nothing else we do ever seems to be good enough or even work at all, so we're just going to try this instead. See what happens. And they end up with this funky little creature here instead. She's got plastic particles inside her as a result of her immediate environment, but she also has some like plant DNA inside of her as well, because obviously she's got the whole wolf tail and thing going on too, so maybe the canine DNA was added as like some sort of stabilizer for the plant genetics. Plants can't really run away or fight too well, so maybe they needed something that was more built to withstand the tough environments to carry her instead. And this is what we've got. I'm still not quite sure about the blue though. Like, do you think we should maybe make that more lighting or her actual colour? I mean, this is actually starting to sound a wee bit like one of the novel ideas I've got going on Wattpad at the moment. Like, not all of it, obviously, but I woke up to this kind comment left on my story today, and that's so lovely. Especially as I purposely haven't been trying to push that story or market it too much either. That was a really nice thing to wake up to. Maybe this OC of ours should make an appearance in the universe of my story on Wattpad. I wonder what role she'd have though. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed seeing me make and build our OC together. I don't know much what the OC adoption market's like online these days, but if you want to buy or see more from her, please definitely let me know. And let me know of anything else you might want to see also. From now onwards, I'll be taking on new inspiration for the year 2021.